All right, everybody, what is going on? Good afternoon. We've got some Seattle Seahawks and San Francisco 49ers injury reports to take a look at. They are out, they are good to go. We got game statuses and we have practice statuses. So we're going to get a chance to look at it all courtesy of Josh Dubo. He posted both sides. So we're going to be taking a look at his tweet today. All right, so we're going to start with the Seahawks side of things, but both sides have things going on here that are very interesting. And let's go ahead and start us off. First of all, we had some resting players over the last couple days, but there's nothing to be worried about here. And by the way, I am on the left side of the screen right now because it's a little bit easier to see the game statuses if I'm here. So Cooper Kupp was limited today, but no injury. DeMarcus Lawrence, JSN, and Leonard Williams were limited on Wednesday, but no injury. They are all good to go for game day, so nothing there. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today, get to it, and go have some fun with sports this year. Okay, so beyond that, AJ Barner, good to go. Full practice all week, no game status. Derek Hall, same thing. Josh Jobe, same thing. Abe Lucas, same thing. Ty Okada, same thing. So a lot of this stuff, just kind of like information, just in a general sense. We don't have anything to worry about with these guys. They're going to play. They're good to go. And we also have one more guy that has no game status and is good to go. And this one, even though they were kind of sort of indicating things were going to go this way during the week, I still doubted, but now we actually have confirmation. Rashid Shaheed, after having a concussion that took him out of the game on Sunday, was a full participant again today and has no game status, meaning he's going to play. So that's a very, very welcome surprise in my book. When you get a concussion, there is approximately, I saw a stat that was like a 73% chance you miss at least the next game. So the fact that we have a short week and Shaheed is good to go on Saturday is a relief. It takes a lot of pressure off guys like JSN, Cooper Kupp, and AJ Barner. So really, really happy to report that Shaheed is going to play. That is a big, big boost. Obviously, I think that there is that thought that goes through everybody's mind that maybe he shouldn't be out there, and the team is kind of pushing him out there because they want him, they need him. But the Seattle doctors have been very good all year with seemingly protecting their players and not pushing them beyond their means and abilities. So when I see something like this, the only assumption that I can make is that he recovered faster than people thought and everything is fine. There's nothing this team has done this year to make me believe that they're the kind of team that would throw a guy out there when he's not able to play effectively. So at the very least, we're going to get him at some point in this game. And between special teams and offense, there's a lot that he can do. So that is a tremendous shot in the arm. And as you can see, this team is pretty darn healthy right now. Now, that's not to say that everything is okay. Kobe Bryant did get some practice in today, which is good, which indicates he'll be ready soon, but he's not ready yet. He is doubtful for this game, so probably no Kobe Bryant. Again, the good news here is that there's a very good chance that he's able to play next week or the week after whenever we need him, but probably no Kobe Bryant. Now, that, I think we can all understand that. We all expected it. Okada's healthy. He's been good lately, so we can ride with Okada for a game. But we are going to have to clench up just a little bit here as we go through these next couple of days because, first of all, Charles Cross out. Charles Cross, DNP. So no Charles Cross, again, expected. But Josh Jones got limited participation today and is questionable. So we are going to have to sweat this out a little bit here. Questionable, probably more than 50%, but not by that much. There is a non-zero chance Seattle plays the biggest game of the year with the most stakes with Amari Kite playing left tackle. That's a possibility here. And that is not something I want to deal with. It's not something anybody wants to deal with. So we're crossing our fingers here. The team sounds like they think Jones will be out there. The team does seem fairly confident, I guess, but this is not what I wanted to see on the injury report right before this Week 18 game. And you've got further questions, right? Even if he can play, is he going to be able to play effectively? Is he going to be himself? Because it's not like there's a big margin of error for him, right? It's not like Josh Jones is somebody who's an all-pro and fully healthy, and you're like, okay, maybe he's only 80%, but he's still a good player. Josh Jones is a career journeyman. So in my book, it's like, even if he's out there, if he's lost any edge whatsoever, that's not something we need to be dealing with. The good news is the Niners don't have Bosa. They don't have Michael Williams. They don't really have any really good edge rushers to throw at us. Their best is Bryce Huff, but still not good, still not encouraging. And it's the one thing that is really troublesome. But it seems more likely than not he'll play at the very least. That's about the most comforting thing I can say. Okay, so let's go to the 49ers side of things where they have opted more for kind of misdirection and obscurity. They're trying to obscure what they're going to have rather than clarify it. Let me move myself a little bit over this way so you guys can see the names a little bit better. But so let's take a look at Bernardo Green was a full participant in practice all week, no game status, so he's good, which makes sense. He's making a return, but it made sense that he was probably going to be back this week. Gross Matos is kind of weird. He did not practice at all today, but has no game status, so I'm guessing he just got the day off. He is kind of a veteran at this point, I guess. He's been around for a few years at least, but it is kind of weird they don't list anything other than just the fact that he was a DNP, but he's still got no game status. Kyle Juszczyk is a full participant in practice, as is Christian McCaffrey. They had to work their way up this week, but both guys have no game status, so they're both going to play, which I think we all anticipated. Again, there's a little bit of a question about what they'll be able to do because they're obviously not 100%, but they are going to play. And like I said, the only thing that was going to keep McCaffrey out of this game would have been if he literally could not walk. Everything else, though, is just questionable. And I think some of this stuff is pie in the sky, but for whatever it's worth, the Niners are leaving the door open. So George Kittle, another limited practice today, was questionable. So I remain a little bit skeptical that he can play given how bad a shape his ankle was in on Sunday, but these football players are built differently. So right now, they're saying it's kind of up in the air. Ricky Pearsall, limited again today, questionable. I do think he'll play, but for the moment, the door has been left open for something else to happen. And this Niners team can't afford to be losing a lot at receiver. They're already thinner than they wanted to be. Upton Stout, definitely a positive development for him today. He was a full participant. Now, again, the concussion means that it's not a guarantee, and he is listed as questionable, but he's got a chance. So this whole week, I've been kind of really pushing the idea that when you see a player in an NFL game get concussed, their odds of playing in the next game are pretty low. But we might have two guys in this game play 6 days after getting a concussion with Shaheed and Stout. So we'll see. I'm a little bit skeptical, admittedly, but he was a full participant today. And questionable is certainly better than the alternatives. Keon White got in a little bit of practice today. He was limited and is questionable. We'll see what happens there. I, again, have to be a little bit skeptical of anything where you barely practice all week. It's not like Keon White is a 10-year NFL veteran who doesn't need practice. He's the kind of guy who does need a little bit of practice to get going, you would think, but questionable, so we will find out on game day. And this is the one where I kind of really have to start wondering if Kyle Shanahan is just trying to confuse people a little bit. So Trent Williams did not practice today. He did not practice all week. He's got a hamstring injury. He's in his late 30s, but they're listing him as questionable. Now, I'm not saying Trent Williams needs the practice. He's been around forever. He does not need to practice, really. But if Trent Williams misses a full week of practice with a hamstring injury at 37 years old, to me, like, he's not playing. There's just no way. And admittedly, Kyle Shanahan, and this is like his one real Achilles heel as a coach, he doesn't seem to have a lot of respect for preserving his players. So if there's any coach in the league that would throw Trent Williams out there with an injury that is going to hamper him, maybe make it so he can't play very effectively, and maybe re-aggravate the injury, then I guess it would be Kyle Shanahan. But it would be beyond irresponsible, I think, if they actually put him out there. It would be one thing if he was practicing this week, but for him to miss all 3 days of practice and then actually play on Sunday, I have my doubts. So to me, that's just kind of Shanahan messing around a little bit. It's a little bit like how the Rams kept trying to convince people that Devontae Adams was going to play a couple weeks ago when we all knew that he wasn't. So I'm going to go ahead and earmark Trent Williams as being out. The rest of the guys, though, there's a lot of room for expanded possibilities here. All right, so that is going to do it for the injury report today. That is our final injury report of the week. So we got questions on both sides, but San Fran definitely has a lot more up in the air. See you guys later. Go Hawks.